introduce Mahesh Jethmalani, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court, who's now joining us on this panel discussion and also giving us his views here. Mahesh Jethmalani, how are you viewing this judgment coming in from the Supreme Court? Because one thing is clear, Mr. Jethmalani, we are going to see this as a victory, a clear victory that's an indication that the Babri dispute should be resolved quickly.
Well, that's obvious from the final passage in the judgment of the majority, where they've said the matter should now be listed on the 29th of October. But, I mean, it was important to decide this issue. An objection had been raised. You may, attribute all kinds of motives to the people who raised the objection that it should go to a larger bench. But the fact of the matter is that it has now been resolved, albeit by a majority. But let's not attribute any motives, because let's remember that at least one judge accepted the view raised by the people who raised the objection. So to cast any aspersions on the petitioners would be casting aspersions on the minority judge. The matter is, it is to be welcome that it has been speedily resolved, and the Babri Masjid case is now put on a speedy track on the 29th of October. Hopefully that will be the beginning of a final judgment.
A lot of people across the country are in fact seeing this one particular dissenting judgment by Justice Abdul Nazir as some sort of validation that the Supreme Court has also spoken up in their favor. Now, in your expert legal opinion, this is not the first time a judge has given a dissenting opinion. Can you throw some light on exactly how this bench has worked and what the majority opinion actually says in this particular case?
Well, I mean, Justice Nazir has based his dissent basically on the fact that the matter should go to the Constitution bench, because in his view, the Allahabad High Court was influenced by Farooqi's judgment, particularly that part of the judgment which dealt with the status of mosques in Islam. But the majority judgment said that it's not necessary that issue was not necessary to decide either the Allahabad suit nor the appeal which are pending before them. And the majority has given very sound reasons, not to say that Justice Nazir doesn't have a valid viewpoint, but we must now accept the majority view that the judgment in Farooqi's decision does not need reconsideration before a larger bench, and it's in any case not necessary for disposal of the masjid issue before the three-judge bench, which will now hear it on the 29th of October.
Mr. Jethmalani, but we've seen such interesting views come forward. On December 6, 2017, we saw your colleague Kapil Sibal speak up in the Supreme Court, and he actually said that political ramifications will be there, and therefore we should not have this matter heard before not have this connection before 2017. All right, I think there's some problem with the connection. We'll go back to Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani, but also coming back to the debate, viewers, and this is